lawmakers meet in Atlanta for the start of the 2015 legislative session. 41 NBC's Amanda Castro sat down with the new BIB delegation chair, Representative Bubber Epps. He says some of the big issues legislators will tackle this year include fixing the state's transportation and possibly adding Payne City into the Macon-Bibb consolidated government.
Representative Epps, what are some of your big goals or big topics that are going to be talked about this year at the session?
Well, far and away, probably the biggest one will be the addressing the transportation infrastructure, bringing forth the recommendations of the study committee that met at 8 different locations throughout the state over the summer. Rural health care and the emphasis that our governor has put on that beginning the last session. Locally, that battle has been carried by Senator David Lucas in tandem with Mercer University, and I think they have worked out a workable solution to at least give rural communities access to health care through telemedicine and other items that will be beneficial where it's been lacking before. And then locally, we have a couple of issues relating to the consolidation charter that was put in place a year ago. There's some tweaking that needs to be done there, more specifically bringing the community of Payne City under the umbrella of this charter and this consolidated effort at government. And I think we're prepared to address that and to hopefully resolve some of the potential conflicts that could arise from trying to maintain a separate identity within the city of Macon and the county of Bibb.
I know one of the concerns Macon-Bibb leaders had brought up was the budget, and there was some talk about maybe getting rid of that, stipulation of cutting the budget. Is that something that you guys are willing to consider this year too?
We have informed the mayor and the commission that that we stand firm on the mandated provisions of budget reduction as far as the charter is concerned. When that charter was drafted and presented, it was well known, and the makeup of the provisions of the charter was well known. I think we have an obligation to the voters of Macon-Bibb County that this was a charter that they approved, that they elected commissioners on the basis of, and they have the ability within their powers granted through this charter to address these issues within the local government. So our thoughts and our position on that is the local government needs to handle that. It doesn't need to come through legislative enactment in any way.
And you are now the new chair of the BIB delegation. Any I guess, feelings towards that new job? Position?
I'm one of 8. I look at this chairmanship as strictly a facilitator aspect to make sure that we have all the issues that are a concern to the Macon-Bibb County area presented to us, to get them in a manner that we can present to the delegation and get the delegation's input. It's no autocratic position by any means, but I'm one of 8 voices and one that has one of 8 votes on how we proceed and to what direction we take as far as dealing with regional and local issues.
Anything else you wish to add heading into the 2015 session?
Well, I've said before, I commend the new government for the year that they've had, the boldness that they've had in areas to make this work. It's not an easy task. We knew going in it was not going to be an easily accomplishable situation for them to work in, but I think we promised the people and the voters of Bibb County that we would put forth a concerted effort to bring an efficient, cost-effective form of government. And I encourage our local governmental leaders to be bold, to be brave, and to carry forth something that we've promised our voters and we have assured our constituents that we would make work. So I know it can. I believe it can. I was asked, do you think you just passed something just to get it through the legislature? Not at all. It was not just a trivia effort on our part. We had varying opinions in and among the delegation, and it was not a unanimous support for consolidation within the delegation. But I think it was the right thing to do. It was the right time to do it, and I hope our local officials will get on board, call upon us when they need us. We're not there in any adversarial position to them. We're there to strictly support them, care for the issues that we can and should legitimately address, and be someone that shows that they can stand on to make this work.
That was Amanda Castro reporting. Tomorrow morning on Daybreak, we'll hear from Representative-elect Heath Clark and his plans for his first year representing Houston County.